The way you make memory work is by associating, and one thing has to be associated to something else. When you do that, your brain makes a connection.
Hey everybody, in this video we want to talk about hypnosis, self-hypnosis, and can hypnosis help you to improve your memory?
Yes! Well, we believe it can be used to improve your memory, but we first of all need to define what exactly we're dealing with when we're talking about memory.
And we're going to promise you a cool thing too that has nothing to do with hypnosis, but is something that you can use hypnosis to build your skills in. We're going to teach you a really cool system to memorize a list of
10
objects or things in any order. You'll be able to do it easily at the end of this video. Keep watching.
Excellent.
All right, so.
Now we have three types of memory. This is the way we run it and look at life. Your short-term memory is electrical in nature. If I give you a phone number and there's no cell phone handy and you've got to run and get a phone from someone else and I say, call this number and tell them Mike's going to be 10 minutes late, whatever. You do all that and then you come back.
What's the phone number?
Yeah, I say, what was that? Did you do it? Yeah, I called. It's all done. Great. What was that phone number? I don't know. I don't remember. You're not supposed to remember. Your short-term memory is a scratch pad.
And that's sort of like where if I give you the number and you're running to find somebody's mobile phone because you don't have your iPhone with you, you're repeating it to yourself. Oh, the number is such and such. And then you remember it just long enough to do the task and then it's gone.
And then it's gone. And it clears again, so it's ready for something else. It's like one of those erasable things I had as a kid. You can write on it with a pencil thing. You lift it and it erases the carbon underneath. It's like that. It's scratch pad.
Think of a whiteboard or something,
Or any color. Now, the next one is long-term memory. Long-term memory is not electrical in nature. It is a protein molecule. It's actually protein kinase C. And when you learn something in your short-term memory, through repetition, you get the attention of your unconscious and it begins to copy this information into your long-term memory.
Okay, cool.
So if you go over that phone number 8 or 10 times, you got it in your head, a week later, you'll probably still have it because the protein's there.
Right.
Now, if you don't continuously review things, that the protein molecule can sort of fall apart and you can lose these things over time. But repetition will keep things in your memory.
Okay.
Now, the third one is the most interesting one of all. We've had short-term memory, we had long-term memory, archive memory. Archive memory is stored as a protein molecule, but it's not typically available to your conscious mind. It's unconscious.
Okay, so is it the same kind of, well, it doesn't matter if it's the same molecule or not, I suppose. It's not a biochemistry lesson.
No, it isn't.
But how does someone access, or what's an example of an archive memory then?
Well, when I would work doing forensic hypnosis on major crimes, typically we're taking somebody back to details of an event that they have consciously forgotten.
Okay.
But hypnosis can access archive memory.
Okay, what's an example of an archive memory?
Well, an archive memory is a memory you cannot consciously recall. It can be brought up through hypnosis, but a lot of this memory, Chris, and this is what's so interesting, a lot of memory is state specific.
Ooh, okay.
So you might have a case where you're sitting in, a room and you walk into the kitchen or another room, let's say, and you go, what did I just come in here for? You can't remember because the state that was executive in your brain at that moment isn't the one that arrived in that room. Now that's complex and beyond this, but let me give you a real simple way of understanding this, which is the drunk who loses his car keys.
Oh, right. When he's drunk, he
can't
loses
find his car
keys.
keys. He winds up crashing on his friend's couch and he doesn't find them for days. The next time he's drunk out of his mind, he's back in that same state and remembers, oh yeah, I slipped him under the edge of the couch when I sat down. It's got to be state specific. So there's all kinds of memory functioning, and hypnosis is one way of getting to these memories beneath the surface.
Okay, so let's now talk about how you've used hypnosis to help people. I know you have at least 2 different quick stories that we can go through here.
Well, the first one is using hypnotic regression to take someone back to an event in their imagination.
Okay.
You need a deep trance for this. I was working with a particular police service. The woman was working a McDonald's drive-thru at night, was robbed at gunpoint, freaked out. They brought her to my place a couple of weeks later, tranced her out. She could remember the exact order before the van came through and robbed her. She could remember how much it cost, and took her back to the event, ran it all in slow motion. She was able to remember there was a second person in the van. It was gray. It was a Quebec license plate. All kinds of detail came out because I had regressed her into the event through hypnosis. Now, this is archive memory that she could not gain access to.
Okay, so then they ended up, I think if the story ends, if I remember correctly, they found the van.
They found the van.
It was only every character in the license plate that she remembered was right except for one.
Yeah, and so she had sparked this immense memory that was hidden below the surface. Now, there's also hypermnesia. Hypermnesia is not regressing into a memory. Hypermnesia is stimulating the memory to recall things. And that became my forensic method of choice I developed later, where I'm not taking someone to the event. I'm just trancing them out and I'm telling a story to them. They're doing a guided image. They're walking along a beach and they find an old skeleton key in the beach and decide to carry it with them. The implication is this is going to open something later. Yeah. And then she's in a wonderful old house, and it's a friendly house. I don't want her scared. And there's cupboards and drawers full of memories. And the hidden command is where you can find what you need to find. I let her walk around this house and come out of trance only when she's found what she needed to find. I have never mentioned the case to her before, during, or after the hypnosis. The woman comes out and nails the sex offender.
So if you ever were to be called as a witness or something, you have no information about anything.
I could testify in court and say I've never spoken about the case with the subject before, during, or after the hypnosis.
And we generally call that content-free therapy or hypnosis, and it's not therapy. It's content-free in this case. You know nothing about the content of the situation, yet you can still unleash a toolbox of hypnosis to help the person remember.
I'm stimulating her memory, her hypermnesia, and then the detectives do the interview as per usual.
Awesome.
So we have these different memories, but here's the thing you can do to improve yours right away. Let's talk about the PEG system.
Okay, before we do the PEG system, we haven't even introduced who we are. So really quickly, my name is Chris Thompson. I run MikeMandelHypnosis.com along with this guy.
I'm Mike Mandel.
Is Mike Mandel. And we basically teach people how to build a better life, personal development, and all the skills around that. And we also teach, of course, hypnosis and hypnotherapy to people who are looking to help other people. So whether you're helping yourself or helping others, we're the place to be.
We are the place to be.
We're one of them, at least. All right, so what is the PEG system? This is a conscious system. This has nothing to do with hypnosis.
Right.
But when you use conscious skill building and hypnosis or self-hypnosis together,
so much better.
You get better results. So let's talk about it.
Well, the PEG system, all of these memory systems that people currently use, from Jerry Lucas to Harry Lorraine and so on, and people have used, they come essentially from Bernard Zuffel about 100 years ago. Zuffel memorized the Manhattan phone book, every phone number, every address, every name. Of course, it was considerably smaller 100 years ago, but it was still thousands and thousands of names and addresses. The way you make memory work is by associating. And one thing has to be associated to something else. When you do that, your brain makes a connection. For example,
if you just remember
this
bell, it's not necessarily associated to something. But if you were to imagine the bell is on a counter
or an iPad,
or and there's a funny looking guy in the back. If you associate the complexity to other things, it'll be easier to remember. Bell,
pretty much. So we're going to show you 10 different things you can associate other things too. So you can memorize the shopping list instantly, very quickly.
Instantly, let's say within a minute or two, you can have a list of 10 objects memorized. You'll be able to recall them in their exact order or randomly. So if somebody said to you, what's number 7? You'd know exactly what it was right then and there. Really cool.
Exactly. So we're going to give you 10 pegs. The pegs are imaginary hooks on a wall that you can hang your ideas on.
And they represent the numbers in the list 1 to 10.
Right. So we start with the first one. 1 is gun.
1 is gun.
So imagine one man holding one gun and firing at a target. Now, we'll come back to that in a minute, how you're going to particularly use that.
All right, we'll give you...
You must see this in your head, though.
All of them, you have to see them in your head. So it could be like a big cartoon-style revolver or something like that. Doesn't matter. Make it big. You have to remember all of the pegs. That's the only... It's not even hard. You just have to memorize the pegs, but they rhyme with the numbers, as you'll see in a moment. So memorize the pegs, then... We'll teach you how to associate. Mike will teach you how to associate.
Right. Now, Chris said, make it big. Make a big, huge cartoon revolver. The more you make these pictures funny, bizarre, even...
It sounds weird to say, but I know where you're going.
Even obscene. Your brain will remember that. And it's your brain, so nobody's going to know anyway. So the first is a gun. It's a man with a gun firing at a target. 2 is a shoe. A big, empty shoe. A huge shoe. Maybe dirty, maybe messy. A big
Smelly.
shoe. Sure.
Yeah.
3 is a tree. Big, tall, billowing tree. You can put things in the branches. 4 is a door. Make it a big wooden door with a huge handle, like a Tales from the Crypt kind of thing.
Yeah, or like a really large brass knocker or something like that. Yeah.
5
is hive.
It's a
like
beehive.
A beehive.
So you have a beehive with bees buzzing around it like crazy, waiting to sting somebody.
Yeah.
6 is saxophone. A big, huge bell on a saxophone you can put an object in. 7 is heaven. Imagine pearly gates opening and beautiful interior and sky and so on. Imagine the big pearly gates. 8 is gate.
8 is gate, not the heaven's gates.
But you don't want to make a mistake and tie it to the door of 4. So the gate is a white picket gate that you can open quite easily. It's not a big,
like
huge
an entrance
door.
to a nice garden or something like that. Whatever
Perfect.
you like. 9.
9 is wine.
Wine.
A glass of wine with a bottle, and it's being knocked over, and it's running across the table.
That's one way to think of it right now.
It's a good way, because then you find
There's
out what's
motion. It's better than a picture. Something is happening, right?
And then 10 is a lion's den.
Yeah.
It looks like a cave, and you can hear growling animals inside. It's spooky. You don't want to go in. So then we get our list. So how do you
we're not going to do all
this?
10, but
no,
let's
do.
What
number are we going to make this?
Okay, so the bell, let's make the bell, let's make it difficult. 10, lion's den.
So
how do you associate a bell with a lion's den?
Simple. There's the doorway of the cave, the opening of the cave, and the growling, and the bell is right inside the door. And as you come close to hear the lion, someone starts ringing the bell to alert the lion that you're there.
Or another way, so the way you're going to do this is not somebody feeding you the specific association. It's whatever your mind comes up with. And it's always your unconscious mind that generates this. So in my case, I was thinking the bell, I'm standing outside of the lion's den and I've got a platter of nice ribeye steaks for them and I'm ringing the bell for them to come and get their food.
And why not? Okay, I've got a deck of our hypnosis cards here. Give me a number.
Okay, 6.
Okay, 6 is saxophone. A big sax with a huge bell. It's a big baritone sax. And it's not playing properly because someone stuffed the deck of cards down inside the bell.
And you reach in and you just pull out that, who put these here?
Yeah.
So when you do this, you create this association, you make a weird mental image, like a little movie, a picture of something happening that involves
something extreme, something
the
weird.
peg and the thing that you're tying to that
I think they're getting the idea. Let's do one last one.
Okay. Oh, so that's clip.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine some really weird things.
So can I.
Okay.
So there are places you do not want to put this.
We're going to call this clamp.
Clamp.
Not clip, clamp.
Right.
Okay, let's tie clamp to...
You almost got me in the eye.
5.
5. Okay, so 5 is a beehive.
Okay.
So we have the beehive with all the bees buzzing around, and you've stuffed all the bees inside the hive. You bunch the top together and put the clamp on it to keep the bees
they can't
inside.
get out.
Yes.
I love that one. Okay, so all of a sudden, so if you think lion's den, we already know.
There's
or
the
if
bell.
you just think bell, bell was 10 because that's right. And what else did we remember
6,
here?
the saxophone.
Cards were
the
6.
deck of cards are in the saxophone.
And then clamp was for the beehive. Hive is
it rhymes with 5, Chris.
5 is hive. 5 is hive.
This has got refund written all over it.
I'm having an interesting morning. 5 is hive.
Stroke.
So there you go. And this will take you, like if somebody gives you a random list of 10 things and you tie them to their appropriate pegs, you'll have it memorized in a minute or 2 and it'll be with you. Now, how long will that last?
It'll last as long as it lasts and not 1 second longer. When you don't need them anymore, they'll fade from your conscious awareness.
So
but
it's really
remember, you must visualize it. Pretend to visualize if you have to. It'll work much better than just going, oh yeah, hive is a clamp. No, you want to see the picture and make it vivid.
All right, so now to wrap up, we're just going to mention that if you want to have a better memory, you can do these conscious tools that we just gave you, the peg system, etc.
Right.
You can also use self-hypnosis with the intention of getting better at association.
Right, better at association, better at noticing things, let your awareness expand, easily done through self-hypnosis.
And we have a product called Memory Power, which is a 2-track, it used to be an audio CD, now it's a downloaded or streamed audio. Think of it as 2 half-hour tracks. Track 1 teaches you the peg system, a bunch of other things like how to memorize names and faces, link system to literally memorize any number of objects in a specific order, numbers with the phonetic alphabet, which is really
memorize
cool.
a 30-digit number after hearing it once.
That's fun. And track 2 is a hypnosis track, which helps
to cement it all in place.
Right. So that product is available on our website, MikeMandelHypnosis.com, if you're interested. I will suggest, though, a way better way to go is to get our personal growth membership, which is really low cost. Like for the price of a large pizza for your family, you can join the Mike Mandel Hypnosis personal growth membership. You get access to the Memory Power. You get access to a ton of other training from us. So I hope you enjoy it. Use self-hypnosis to improve your memory and practice these conscious tools that we've talked about, like the PEG system. Put them together and you'll have a better life with a better memory. All right. Thanks again. And good night.